Welcome Bowman Regional Public Library patrons, and to all of you who haven't set foot in our building yet, we would welcome you to come and check us out. Today we're going to piggyback off of last week's North Dakota section and talk about the Dewey Decimal System. We're standing here beside three of our tallest bookshelves, and on each end of the bookshelves you will see that we are in the adult nonfiction section of our library. We're kind of right in the center of our building right now. And what you will see are the number ranges and then the topics that you would find in that number range. And I know that there are some of you that wish we would just alphabetize by the author's last name in this section, but if you think about that, it would get very, very confusing and time-consuming to find a book. So let's take a look here at some books we've pulled. In this 0 to 99 range, you would find a book like Charles Duhigg's How to Unlock the Secret Language of Connection. So you're talking about personal relationships. Oh, this would be 100s. In the 0 to 99s, we're talking about computer science, the age of AI, and our human future. Okay. Down here, we continue with the 100s. We go up to the 200s. Here's the New Testament in the 200s because that would be religion. As we go down here, you'll see more of the philosophy and psychology and religion. If we cruise around here, we're in one of our largest sections, the social sciences. That encompasses a huge amount. If you liked The Boy Called It, The Lost Boy is also part of that series. It would be found here in the 361.7. You do see the author's last name's 3 letters, so it does help. But most people in this section come in and just ask, do you have any books on diet? Do you have any books on money? Do you have any books on how to crochet? And then we can find those easily in one section. Okay, when we're over here, we're still in that 300 to 363, we're still in psychology. And here is money, the money section, the psychology of money. Ends of our bookshelves have the numbers. 364 to 399 is crime. Then we're going to move into the 400s, which would be language. 500s would be science. 600 would be technology. That would be different than computers somewhat. When we look at crime, this one's been popular. The Idaho 4. A lot of true crime in this area. We'll keep going. Here's our Spanish section. So what you see here is a lot of books that would be in our adult fiction section. This is Kristen Hanna, but now it's all written in Spanish. So we're going to keep going by this. Here's Breathe, the New Science of a Lost Art. Here's where your yoga books would be. We have books on health and general well-being. And we're going to cruise around here. Now we're getting into the 620s to 699, technology and applied sciences and arts and recreation. So here's where we would come to find gardening. Here's where we would come to find out about raising animals, about how to raise dogs or cats. This is a very popular book that goes out often. But it's also about how to raise other animals as well, farm animals, horses, so on and so forth. Cookbooks, gluten-free, vegan, lactose intolerant, everything you can think of. How to build nourishing meals. Pioneer Woman, we have several of hers, very popular. Milk Street, another very popular cookbook series. Down here we get into welding and metal arts and things like that. Here is a book about the Guide to Fermentation, very popular activity right now. You might see it on Facebook. You might see it on Instagram. You might see it on TikTok. You can come in and ask us. Again, interlibrary loan works in this section too. We've been here before. Below are graphic novels. Here's crocheting, how to crochet, how to quilt, how to bead, all sorts of activities. Biographies, we pulled this one because some books also come with DVDs. We actually didn't know we had this book, Gross and Annoying Songs. I might even check that out. Now we're going into the classics. You want to find Mark Twain, Lord of the Flies, Charles Dickens. We're in the classics, David Copperfield. Travel a little bit over here, New Zealand, Patagonia. And once we start here, and we continue over to this side, you will see that it tells us that we are in the history and geography, and over here, history and geography, and we have all sorts of books on World War I, World War II, the rise and fall of, anything you can think of. I can see Vietnam right here. It doesn't take much to find out about all sorts of different wartime things that are happening. And then we continue through history, and we add to that our presidents. Of course, Teddy Roosevelt being popular here. But there's all sorts of the Civil War, Harry S. Truman, being Nixon, JFK's last 100 days. So we have all sorts of history on our presidents up here. Then we get into more of the Plains and the Pioneer era. You might want to find out about Custer, or you might want to find out about Native American tribes. I went through that kind of fast, and it's still probably too long of a video. But we welcome you to come in and check out our nonfiction area and to ask questions. We're here to help. We'll do anything we can to put the best book in your hands. Thanks.